Shit, I went to right when you said that shit.
Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast.
What's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there of the world? Welcome on into the Sports Buffoon Studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas. We have a special show today. First of all, we'd like to say rest in peace to the great Lynn Dawson, before Patrick Mahomes came along, the greatest quarterback in Chiefs history.
Super Bowl victory,
Super Bowl IV, and really one of the greatest stories in history of the entire NFL. And a great loyal man,
great broadcaster or sports guy on the news. One of the best growing up, KNBC.
Yeah, he did everything, and he loved this city. So,
yes.
Lynn Dawson, he'll be very much missed. Absolutely. And Tanner, you have yourself a Lynn Dawson jersey around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's. I actually just washed it. It's upstairs.
Oh, you just.
So I was gonna wear it
this
season.
Right.
So.
Well, guys, this is actually our special mock draft episode. So, how are we feeling over here?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you guys feeling?
I'm gonna feel a lot better once we figure out what mock draft we're gonna get into here before we run out of time. So
I had a question for you guys.
Okay.
How confident do you guys feel in drafting?
I feel very confident in my draft strategy.
I feel very confident just because it's not always about doing a lot of mock drafts. And I agree, you need to do some mock drafts, but you don't need to do what I used to do, which is basically 500 mock drafts in the off season. It's not necessary. It's better to do a lot of research, look at a lot of content online. And, there's no such thing as a fantasy expert, but there are a lot of guys out there that are, they produce videos and stuff where you can get a lot of good information. So,
oh yeah,
I think having a plan and being adaptable is probably the two most important aspects, because you can't just pigeonhole yourself into one strategy and then no matter what happens in your draft, you just do that anyways.
So being adaptable is one thing. Last few days, guys, I've been working on a special Wednesday show. We are actually going to be drafting together as a Sports Buffoons versus our community that I got set up. So instead of doing mocks, we're actually doing a real life draft. And it so happens randomizer put us at 1.
Oh, we're picking from number 1 overall. All right.
So Jason, I figured you go first, dude.
Lots of back-to-back here.
So
you're telling me us as a group has to agree on the same player?
Well, no, I'd say we break it down. My thoughts was 1, 2, 3. We just rotate that way as a group.
Sure.
All righty. Well, it's an interesting dynamic. Obviously, Sleeper is Tanner's favorite platform for drafting. So, yeah.
So we're gonna.
Well, I mean, are you guys, Tanner? You got a Coors Light over there. Is that enough alcohol to fuel your fire?
I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll be okay. I've been doing this, for the last couple of weeks. So
we do have in this mock draft 54 champs, picking number 12 over there. So I have a feeling if Kelsey falls to him, that's where he's going to end up.
So crazy thing during this last week, who would have thought Facebook came through the most for our community draft? So a couple UK guys, so they're going to be auto picking. A lot of guys set their queues. That's the big thing. But we do have a lot of live guys. So, but yeah, we're going to probably get this thing started. 1 minute picks, PPR. And we're drafting 1 out of 12. It was originally 1 out of 10. And I got a couple more guys I wanted in. So we're doing a 12-man.
All right. Well, I do see our triple FTP on there as well. So.
Oh yeah, he snuck in. He wanted to
join in. Is that his pick? Well, actually, he's got 100 leagues he's in. So, is that just kind of a random pick that he ended up with?
Yeah, actually, he said like half of his drafts are like 4 or 5. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, he's ready to roll when we are then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, I'm gonna hit start drafting. You're on the clock. We got a minute.
All right, you get the first pick, Jason.
Well, let me think about this for a second. Should I take the full minute?
You got 2 minutes to work.
Oh, my bad. It's 2 minutes.
2 minutes to work with on this one. So.
All right. Well, number 1 overall. I've had plenty of time to think about this, and I think this is the one pick that you can have in the draft that is really a no-brainer. Or you can just draft Jonathan Taylor and then tell me how my ass tastes a little bit later on.
That's how I felt last year.
I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor here. Do you guys agree or disagree on that?
100% agree on that one.
I'm perfectly okay.
Our boy Ryan's not going to agree, but he'll find out. He's going to learn today. I'll put it that way.
I am good with Jonathan Taylor at the 1 spot. Ayo Saba is on. What's up, dude? He says Mike doesn't have the gummy needed to draft properly.
No, that would be a bad mistake to have any kind of gummies during a draft. But I encourage them for everyone in my league. So if you're in the league with me, I encourage as much alcohol and as many other mind-altering type of substances that you can put into your body.
Sorry, guys. I'm changing this to 60 seconds for that. I didn't mean for it to be 2 minutes. So
2 minutes, man. That's enough time to.
That's a lot of time.
Take a piss. I mean, it's enough time to do a lot of things.
So we obviously got a lot of time to go, a lot of time to break down fantasy content in the way, right? I mean,
well, sure. I mean, so number 2 right here, we know the Panthers fan is 3rd. So if for some reason McCaffrey doesn't go here, then he'll go number 3 overall here. But do you guys think that the number 1, number 2 should be JT then McCaffrey, or should McCaffrey be lower than that?
I don't trust the guy with all of his former health issues. I just don't trust him to stay healthy for a full year. Even if you're saying that he's due for a bounce back year, I want a guy that's going to be there for at least 14, 15 games. And I just don't think I don't trust the guy.
Yeah.
See, that's the hardest thing, right? Is trusting. For me, there we go. So for me, at that spot, I feel like I want to go more reliable, more of a guy that's going to have more numbers. And I think Justin Jefferson's the pick for me at 2.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's what I've been doing in best ball, at least. I've done CMC a couple of times, but Justin Jefferson has been my guy.
So what would steer you towards Jefferson instead of Cooper Kupp then?
I just think he's the numbers. It's going to have the cousins that he had from his rookie year. He's only going to go up from here. It's just like Chase.
I could see where Chase could even go up just because of the ability of the quarterback situation there.
Yeah.
And obviously Cooper Kupp, a lot of his production had to come from because of Matt Stafford and what his abilities are with his arm talent.
But they also didn't have truly a set 2 guy. Van Jefferson played that role a little bit last year with the Rams. OBJ played that role towards the end really well. And now you got Allen Robinson, who's a healthy wide receiver coming to play. Granted, we don't know what he's going to be, but I think that knowing that you're going to have a guy like Allen Robinson in the roster pushes me back to him to the 3-4 spot.
I see. All right. Well,
yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of, get your running back early, but I don't have a problem with bypassing some of those wide receivers. I could take Derrick Henry with that pick, honestly. Like, who cares?
You really could.
Like, you want to get running backs early, so I would just kind of say, you don't have to take an elite wide receiver just because you don't get Jonathan Taylor and you don't want McCaffrey. I mean, I would probably take Eckler for sure ahead of McCaffrey.
My guy ahead of McCaffrey is probably Najee Harris. I think there's just a lot of upside, and he's young, of course. I think both of these play into account, and you're working in an offense that we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to look like as the year progresses. If Trubisky is obviously struggling, then they're going to put in Kenny Pickett. And you're in a situation where the young quarterback's best friend is going to be the running game. And so Najee Harris is a guy that could get 320 carries this season. And that's why I think he's got high upside this year. And I would put him over McCaffrey even as number 2.
That's very fair because with that, the receivers they have out there too, Deontay Johnson likes to drop the ball. Chase Claypool, we don't know what he's going to be anymore.
And then they have the GOAT George Pickens on the roster. So.
And then George Pickens, who could possibly turn around and be the guy.
I did like Ryan's pick, though. Cooper Kupp at 5. It's a great pick.
Great steal.
Obviously, in our league, I have him as a 3rd rounder. So
yeah,
as one of my keepers. So that's a great deal for my situation.
So we got Dalvin off the board here.
And is this Dan that's up right now?
Yeah, so this is Dan.
Dan picking. All right.
Yeah, so he set his queue as well. It's like 1 or 2 a.m. in the UK. So I have 3 UK guys that joined us.
So these guys are doing an all-nighter, huh?
Well, they set their queue. That's why I got the minute. I was like, 2 minutes. That's gonna be a lot for a lot of.
Right. You guys won't even do 2 minutes on our actual draft.
No, I'd rather have a minute.
Like
I
think
minute 30.
I think Well, I've been shorted on that before.
You
I
have
prefer I prefer a minute and a half.
That's what
Sometimes
we-
we get an hour.
Because the last couple of years
We're
he
doing
wanted a
130
minute.
now. this
Yeah,
That's
year.
a couple
great.
years he wanted a minute 30, and we also told him no.
Well, this year we're doing
A
130.
minute and a half is amazing. So I guess my vote does count sometimes.
Yeah.
It takes a couple years, but apparently it does count. What we got here? So Henry Cook Eckler, there at the 8 spot.
Yeah. I like Eckler there. I mean, he's going to get a lot of passes thrown his way, and he's the primary back now. I mean, even Justin Jackson's gone. So I think it's going to be his show to run right there.
And oh hey, JG, looks like online right now, maybe watching us. Chad Hafley's in the league too.
Nice.
So
Eckler kind of fell there
Eckler fell
a lot. I mean, that's really good
So that
value.
That means Cook, Henry, and Najee all went before Eckler there.
That's great value for Eckler, dude. I would take that all day.
Oh yeah, at 9 or 8, yeah, I'd take him. He's been going about in most of my drafts between that 6 and 7 spot, so which I would take him. I think I took him in the 4 or 5 last time. Who do we want come back around? Who do we think is going to be there?
I mean, it's a tough call. It's one of those things when you're picking back to back, as Jason and I are both going to experience this year. You kind of got to pick whoever you believe in the most, not worry about ADP as much.
Yeah, that's right. Because you got the 1 and you got the 12 this year.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting at 10.
So I mean, if we're sitting here right now, obviously we got Taylor right off the board. I mean, it just depends on who's going to be available. Because if we still have an elite receiver there, then we could consider that. Otherwise, I would not mind getting another running back, then receiver for that 3rd round pick.
I think in most cases, all of your really good running back options are going to be gone once it comes back to 23 and 24. And I know a lot of people out there would probably say, oh, well, you can always take Ezekiel Elliott or somebody like that. And I'm like, that's kind of a reach. I don't really want to use my 23rd or 25th pick for Ezekiel Elliott because I think he could have a really good year this year, but still, you don't want to be reaching in the first couple of rounds.
No, that's
I wouldn't trust Zeke anyway. I mean, what has he shown the last couple of years?
Well, he's making a lot of money, so they're going to force feed him the ball. Like they're going to use him
last year, but Tony Pollard actually outperformed him on the field.
Oh, he outperformed him, but you know how Jerry Jones is. He's going to be like, "Oh, we gotta pay Zeke, and so we got to make sure he gets the ball."
I think they're doing both on that because Tony Pollard's been playing with Zeke on the field at the same time, and also playing a little bit of that slot section, like we've seen Travis Etienne in, and other. I can't remember who the other guy is that's also there. What am I thinking of?
In Jacksonville?
No, I'm not. That's playing slot as a running back. Travis Etienne was also being experienced there. I know Pollard was as well. So if that's the case, I'd stay away from Zeke for the most part.
Yeah,
you can get him in the 3rd
don't want
round.
anything to do with Zeke.
Well, I would like him if he fell to the 4th round, and I think he will be falling to the 4th round. A lot of drafts out there, so for me that would be a good value if I got him in the 4th.
Yeah, in the 4th and Zeke, yeah, that's great value.
All right, that's too much Cowboys talk.
Speaking of
already.
injuries, guys, would you take any kind of chance on Saquon Barkley at the end of the 2nd round?
I would.
I'm not touching.
I would.
Guy.
I like Saquon this year. I think he stays healthy. It was a freak injury last year after his
Yeah, all of the injuries have been freak injuries.
It literally was a freak injury.
That's like saying all of Anthony Davis's injuries.
It doesn't
freak
happen.
Injuries.
Plus, he came back still, Saquon, at the end of the season. So I'd take Saquon.
Yeah,
I would take a stab.
I want to have high expectations
it's too
for him,
risky.
but he has just as much risk as McCaffrey does.
Back-to-back tight ends
that's,
going into place.
That's the way I see it. Honestly, what's funny is McCaffrey and Barkley probably have equal upside, but also just as much risk. So why is it that one is going number 2 overall, where Barkley's going out in the late 2nd round? So I don't know. Okay, we're up, guys.
We are up here.
So on the board, starting off,
So
we got
Mike,
CeeDee Lamb.
your pick.
Okay, we got Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Barkley is on the board.
Josh Allen,
Fournette,
Evans,
right
AJ
now.
Brown.
Okay, see with this pick, obviously I want to go upside here. I still like what I saw actually recently out of the projections for CeeDee Lamb, and right now his over under is like 1,175 receiving yards. and his receptions are somewhere around like 88.5 receptions for the year, something like that. And I think he's going to go over on all the numbers I've seen. I think Lamb right here being picked at number 24 overall is a great value. So I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb.
All right. So it's CeeDee Lamb there. So here I got the third pick here. We got Tyreek, Allen, Fournette, Evans. Knowing that we have to wait so long, I would actually like to go down here and grab Mike Evans, going into play because I know he's definitely not going to be there, and he's a guy that's going to be excel. So I'm going Mike Evans on that back-to-back.
Well, one good thing about Evans, at least, you know what you're going to get. I mean, he's the most consistent 1,000-yard receiver we've ever seen, maybe besides Jerry Rice, considering he's had 1,000 yards in every single season of his career so far. And I don't know why that would change this year, as long as there's a healthy Tom Brady throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So you got two potential WR1s on your roster now, plus the number one running back in the league. So I'm okay with where we're at right now.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. And this is where round 3 is usually when you start picking all in on wide receivers. So, at least for me. Man, oh man, make sure my stuff's off. There we go.
Yeah, I think my preference just in general would be to go get 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. Obviously, we were not able to do that, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have Jonathan Taylor. And so obviously our second running back is probably not going to be quite as good as we had hoped. But when you got Jonathan Taylor, you can afford to sometimes go receiver in that second and third round.
Yeah, and part of it also was availability, because if you look at the guys that were available right there, I mean, would you rather have J.K. Dobbins, Saquon Barkley, or Zeke Elliott over Mike Evans? I would say hell no to all
Probably
three of those
not.
running backs. So
maybe Leonard Fournette.
And that's still going to be a kind of a tough call, assuming he's in good shape again.
Right.
Coming into camp out of shape wasn't exactly
right.
I think he weighed 260 at one point.
Yeah,
I think he's.
I thought it was 360.
No, it wasn't.
Wait,
it wasn't
no,
Eddie Lacy.
That
dude.
must have been the doctored photo that I saw.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's fine, but I just think there's more value in Mike Evans than what else was on the board there.
I that's what I agreed on. Like, I could have gone the Saquon route, honestly, but I really felt we needed to make sure we get a couple high-end receivers early. Granted, there is a lot of value going into play later.
Right, but right now we got our 2 top receivers locked in place. So coming back around with us guys, I would assume now, looking at this team, depending on who's there, you got to look at what running backs are there. Take a quick glance at the tight ends. I mean, is George Kittle on your mind at the moment right now?
Absolutely. I mean, not knowing what's going to be there yet. I've got to get a running back. I mean, I've got to get. I'm not going to reach, but that would be my number one goal.
With one of these next 2 picks, you got to get a running back again. I would say,
preferably in round 4, but we're getting back-to-back picks, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
We got Charles McLean. What's up, Charles? Thanks for coming on, dude. He goes, I want to take Jameson Williams, stash him away for a month, and when would he be the best round to take him? Jameson Williams.
Well, his current ADP,
it's way down
is
there.
is it the 130s? Is that what I saw recently?
Yeah, so I would wait till at least maybe the 14th, 15th, if anything, to take him. Your last. It depends on what your draft status is, but I'd say 14th, 15th is probably appropriate.
His actual consensus ADP in PPR is 186 for Jameson Williams. If you're wanting to grab him, I would go above 186, because I mean, at that point in the draft, it's so late anyway. You're not having to give up that much of a value of a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely target him at that point in round 13 or 14. Get him there and stash him.
Make sure you get him. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, you might as well take into account like DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas, guys that are either suspended or coming back from an injury who are going to miss potentially some games or some time at least. And then you have big upside for later on in the season.
Yeah, there's that too. It's a tough one to actually take him in a 15-man round. Now, if you're like best balling or 18-man round, 20-man round, I would take him definitely just after the 15th. But in a top 15, he's probably gonna be sitting on the waiver wire for a bit.
All right, so Jason, the board's falling towards you, so let's see who else is available at the moment. So what are you thinking coming up with our next pick?
Well, let's see how many guys are in front of me here.
We got all right.
It's
We're
our
up
pick.
now.
We're up right now.
Well, oh gosh, it's tempting to take Lamar here, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, take a look at the running backs too.
I've got to get
Can we look at
look-
running backs?
It's
I just
tempting
mean
to take.
sort them.
I'd be tempted to take Lamar, but like I said earlier, I've got to get my running back.
Here's
here.
our running backs.
So I'll go ahead and take Cam Akers.
Cam Akers.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll do the Cam
right,
Akers,
Cam
route
Akers.
there.
Sitting with the rest of the running backs right now, there's a couple guys on that list I like, but I don't really care for Jacobs. Don't care for Gibson. Elijah Mitchell is someone that I do find intriguing, but I don't know that I want him at this spot. Tanner, what do the tight ends look like at the moment? Because Kittle's off the board, Waller's off the board. See, I don't want to go tight ends either.
We don't want to go
At this
tight ends.
point-
Oh, that's
at this
trash.
point, we're dropping.
That is trash.
So let me
on
look
tight
at the
end.
receivers one more time, see if we can get another high upside guy. And hey, the truth be told, DJ Moore's consistent, and maybe,
Now he has
maybe
Baker.
working with Baker Mayfield
Now he has Baker.
is going to help him. So I could see that working out.
So you would take him ahead of AJ Dillon, for example?
Oh yeah.
Yes, because I
Okay.
can start DJ Moore compared to I can't start AJ Dillon on this current team. I don't think. Just because you got the two running backs already locked up, unless you use AJ Dillon in the flex. But
We got.
I'm
less
going
than 10
DJ
seconds.
Moore.
DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore with that pick.
All right.
So now we're up to 3 wide receivers.
3
It's not enough.
wideouts, 2
It's not
running
enough.
backs.
That's now we got to get our third running back at some point.
Right. So now we're going to be after round 5. When do you start looking at quarterbacks?
For me, it's usually after round 8.
Around it, because Jalen Hurts is off the board, Lamar Jackson's off the board now.
All the guys that I would want are pretty much off the board right now. Like if I was going to take a quarterback before round.
Well,
what are
who's
we
at the top right
5
now? Let show me our
for
options. here.
quarterbacks? So Murray's still there, Russell Wilson's still there, Brady, Prescott, Rodgers, Stafford, Cousins.
I mean, with those names at this point, I think we're waiting. I mean, I don't have a problem with going
would
quarterback in the 4th and 5th round, but it's got to be elite.
Mhm.
With the names that are at the top right now, I'm holding off on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I feel like it would be kind of a reach for a quarterback at this point.
So when it comes back around, Tanner, it's going to be your pick and then Jason's. That's what we're looking like.
Correcto.
Now the Cam Akers pick. What is it about Akers that you find exciting about him? Obviously, the injury concern last year, and then in the playoffs, didn't do a lot of production from a yards per carry standpoint.
Coming off of
What's your
injury,
thought?
it's always tough because a lot of times we think that, they're not going to be back to being themselves until they get a full year under their belt of not being injured. But the thing I like about Akers is that he did get into some game action there at the end of the season last year. Even though it wasn't a lot of action, like I don't feel like he's starting from scratch. And I've heard reports from camp that he looks fine. Like I have no problem with taking Cam Akers. I wanted to make sure that we got a running back with that pick because you have to have 2 running backs before like round 6. You can't take like your second running back in the 6th round or you're going to get left in the dust.
I'm just
That's
curious
true.
of what Akers' upside is my only concern. I think if he's used as in the receiving game, that's going to be awesome. I want to see it. I want to see more of him. I want to see exactly what the hype is all about with him. I just haven't seen enough of him to be comfortable taking him on my personal draft.
Well, as you know, I'm always high on getting pieces from that Rams offense. And so I think Cam Akers, as long as he's healthy, I think he's going to be a key piece to that offense.
Daryl Henderson's beat up as well, and then that rookie, I can't remember his name, saved my life. They were talking really high on him coming into play, but he got banged up early too. Now he's back at practice, so there's a lot on the table there. Cam Akers sounds like he should have that job solidified for now until maybe they see more out of the rookie there. I need to look up his name. I can't remember.
Let's see. I think that Ryan and I disagree on some of the running backs in fantasy this year. And I'm just not as high on James Conner as he is, just because I feel like there's a touchdown regression there. And then David Montgomery, I just can't get behind him at all. It's just not going to be a guy. I'm ever gonna
Kyron
like.
Williams is the rookie for the Rams that I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know. The James Conner thing kind of makes sense. You don't really have anybody else behind him.
Right, there's no one else behind him right now. I mean, hey, maybe they re-signed Kenyon Drake again. I don't know. But,
I mentioned that.
I can't get behind Connor as being like my guy as my RB1.
Yeah,
I just can't do it. That's because I see the regression, and you guys know how much I care about yards per carry. On a yards per play basis, he just doesn't do it for me. So that's why he's just not my dude. And then the Montgomery thing, I just can't do.
Don't draft running backs. Don't draft bad running backs on bad teams, and don't draft good running backs on bad teams, unless it's on the Jets, right, Mike?
Well, you already know about one of my guys. So.
I'm
That's no
looking
secret.
down here at guys. I'm staying away from kind of these guys right now because they're beat up. Mooney, I like there. But I think I'm going to go down here and grab Rashad Bateman for Baltimore. I think he's going to be a big upside receiver.
Yeah.
He's going to be my guy. We're going to go Rashad Bateman.
So I think we got 4 1,000-yard receivers now on the team. So, Jason, what are you thinking now?
Gosh, show me the running backs again.
So we got running back.
Oof. What number pick is this?
This is
Top of the 7th.
top of the 7th, yeah.
Give me. I'm going to take Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt?
Yep.
Okay.
I want a piece of that running game, and all indications here, it's either going to be close to a 50-50 split, but Kareem Hunt is going to be baller this year.
I really like both situations. Like some people are scared of the whole Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb thing right now. I like both situations because to me, you got your handcuff with Kareem Hunt no matter what. So he's always going to be there getting some kind of workload, at least with the team. And if something happens to Chubb, then you have a true RB1. And then meanwhile, let's pretend like Kareem Hunt gets his wish and he gets traded. He's going to go anywhere else in this league and probably be the starter on any other team in this league. So if he gets his wish,
so there was some
then there you go.
Twitter rumors going on. Miles Sanders wasn't practicing for like 5 days. And there was a rumor going around with the Eagles organization looking to trade for Kareem Hunt. And if that came into play,
yeah,
Kareem Hunt would immediately be a 1 and would run with that.
Thing. Then both Hunt and Chubb, both their values go way up.
Extremely.
You know, because if Chubb is there by himself, and I don't care about their whatever.
Dearness Johnson?
No, not Dearness Johnson. I'm not worried about him. But if Chubb is there as the true RB1, getting 80% of the carries, I mean, you're looking at a guy to challenge now Jonathan Taylor for the best back in the league. Meanwhile, Hunt will be a RB1 right away with a different team.
So you would draft both of them in the same draft.
I love the idea of something just falling right and you get the best of both worlds.
It could happen. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see. I mean, what do you think Philly is going to have to give up in terms of draft capital to get him?
Man. I'm sure there'd be at least a second or a third involved for a Hunt. It might get away with it too, though, to try to dump him because he's unhappy. But I don't know. It'd be, I think, a tough trade. It wouldn't be a big blockbuster trade by any means, but there'd be some good draft picks, I say, involved there.
All right, so Tanner, I'm going to be picking up next, and we've only gotten receivers and running backs so far. So I'm just curious to get my mind ready. What do we have at tight end and quarterback now going into rounds 8 and 9?
Quarterbacks, you got what? Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Trey Lance, Carr, and Cousins.
Okay.
At tight end, Freiermuth, Gesicki, Kmet, Albert, Hunter Henry, and Tyler Higbee.
Gosh, do you have to go quarterback here?
Probably. I do like Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
I can never say his name. Freiermuth.
I don't know.
I do like him and the idea of him having a good season this year in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, there goes our kicker. We got Mr. Justin Tucker off the board.
Here's the real question: do we have to go with a quarterback or a tight end at this pick? Or
You don't
can
have
we just
to.
Get
No.
Running backs
right now,
we can load up.
Looking at the current tight ends, I'm not touching them. I'm considering a quarterback that's on
quarterback.
there,
You can still great value up there.
But here's the deal:
still great value at quarterback.
I would still look at the running backs and the receivers again before making my choice.
Absolutely.
Either way, the tight ends can wait once more.
I guess I'm just a fool because I took a kicker. That's the 54 Chiefs. I'll look up here real quick.
By the way, never draft a kicker until the last round of your draft.
Oh my lord! Stop.
Now I will disagree with you.
Oh, Jordan, that was Jordan Reynolds. He worked at Target with
to
us.
a degree.
Jordan, what's up, dude?
Now let me clarify: a 15-round draft.
Okay, that makes more sense.
A 15-round, or let's say even 16-round. I don't care.
In our specific league, like it makes sense to take one before that. If it's a Justin Tucker, then yeah, he's higher value.
I didn't really want to talk about our league because who in our audience is going to have a 21-round draft? Is probably not going to happen.
Not a lot.
Well, Ryan's got 100 leagues he's in, so
yeah, I'm sure he has one or two.
Yeah, he's got to have one or two, but
all right.
Yeah, I'd say 50. Yeah, certainly 15, 16-round draft. Don't ever take a kicker until the last round.
So Tanner, Tom Brady's off the board. Derek Carr's off the board now. So okay, here we go. We're up. Okay. So let's go. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks real quick. We got Rodgers to work with, Stafford on there. Now let's glance over to the wide receivers. I don't even need to see tight ends right now. Burks, Brandon Ayuk. You guys know I love him.
Brandon Ayuk there.
And then, okay, so I know who I want right
there.
You
got the lizard man.
He drops so many passes for me. Go to the running backs real quick, Tanner. All right, Cordell Patterson, Kenneth Walker, Rashad Penny, James Cook, Melvin Gordon. There's a couple guys on that list that I do
Melvin
really
Gordon's
like.
Pretty tasty.
But because this is my pick, I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk here with this one.
Ooh, okay.
Brandon Ayuk. Oh, sorry, Mike. I didn't even go to your face. It's all right. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just pick Stafford,
1,
Tanner.
2, 3.
Rodgers is on there still.
I don't want Rodgers.
You don't trust him?
No, he's got a bunch of bums for wide
Dude, he's going to make them
receivers.
all look like Hall of Famers.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Like he's already done with the lizard man.
Actually, I'm going to go down here and kind of.
You picking tight end?
No, I'm not picking a tight end. Why would I pick a tight end at this point?
Ooh, well, let's see. Yeah, if you go quarterback, I'd probably go with Stafford here.
I'm not going Stafford. Actually, we're going to go down and reach for a guy. We're going to go down and grab James Robinson.
Oof.
Number 1.
I could just hear my audience cringe after that pick.
Well, out of all the running backs that were on that list, he probably wasn't.
I didn't want Penny. I didn't want Kenneth Walker anymore. I've been away from those guys. I was high on Walker.
So far, the Buffoons hate quarterbacks and tight ends on our league.
20,
but the Robinson, you'll get the next pick, Jason. So let's make up for that last one and
Rogers
come back.
Rogers says Sammy Watkins.
Well, now I have to take a running back just to cancel out that bad.
Why would you do that?
Wow. Okay.
So, how many running backs do we have right now?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 running backs.
And 4
1,
receivers?
2,
5
3,
receivers.
4,
5
5
receivers. Yeah. Oh, geez.
So the receivers look good. We're locked and loaded.
All right,
there.
we're hitting round 10. Now I think we start looking at a quarterback.
All right, my turn. I've got to take a quarterback here. Have to.
Yeah, if you don't, then I will because we're
show me the tight ends. Show me the tight ends first, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's probably going to be one of both. Whatever you don't take, I'll take the other.
Right now, your tight ends are Joseki, Kmet, Albert, Hunter Henry, Higbee, and Irv Smith. Joku's there. Font's
I'm going to let
there.
Mike do the tight end then.
That's fine. We'll see who's available. I did hear rumors about Mike Gesicki being on the trade block, so there's a possibility that they're looking to move on from him.
Does that help him in fantasy?
I think it does because right now
depends on where he goes.
He's just sitting on the line. They just have him as a block guy right now.
Now, Mike, you used to have a hard-on for Gesicki. What happened? Did he just?
I still like him.
You still like him as a player?
I still like him. I think where he goes though would depend on how he's going to produce.
So
if he goes to like Green Bay, then yeah, I give him a good shot to be a decent player.
So Jordan's asking here, when do you guys take a defense? When would you recommend take a defense in a 15-round league?
In a 15th round, I'm probably looking towards round 13. 14.
At the earliest. 13.
Well, here's the thing: if you're getting your kicker in round 15, like we talked about,
right,
then your defense needs to come before that. But here's the deal: you just be aware at all times and be watching that waiver wire throughout the season. Watch for the matchups and plan 2 weeks ahead. So one thing it's going to be hard to do is planning for players 2 weeks ahead and how they're going to perform. But you can plan for a defense 2 weeks ahead because you know who's going to be good or bad at that point. Whereas players themselves are sometimes hot and cold, hit or miss, week to week. Defenses, on the other hand, can be easier to project.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's the difference between, you're talking about a 15-round draft. If you have a lot more rounds than that, a lot of people, not naming any names, JG, like to pick multiple defenses in the draft. But you can't do that in a 15-round draft because you're going to have a lot of sleepers out there that you've had your eye on. You got to take as many sleepers as you can if you only got 15 rounds. So
it's really limited.
Yeah, I mean, I would say at the earliest, 13th round.
Yeah, I agree with that. Somebody is really there you really want at 13, go for it. But
you got to focus on sleepers. It's all
I
about
say
sleepers.
Defenses are hard to project because I don't know what league you guys had, but I think the Dallas Cowboys had the #1 fantasy defense last year due to all of the interceptions returned for touchdown by Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that defense wasn't like
absolutely.
It wasn't necessarily the best
stoppage.
defense in the league. It was just there was some lucky touchdowns involved, and Micah Parsons obviously had a great season as well. So
the other thing too is when you go year to year, a lot of times when you have a really, really good defense one year, more often than not, that same defense, at least from a fantasy perspective, is going to like crap the bed the next year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good.
Just play the matchup. That's all you got to worry about, really. Or pick a defense with a really bad division. If you're playing in the NFC South and you get Tampa Bay, hey, you got some good matchups.
Tampa or the Saints.
Sure, or the Saints defense. You got some good matchups there to work with.
Yeah, Saints defense, it's been going pretty high in the mock drafts that I've been doing.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing too.
Which they had 46 sacks last year, so I expect something similar. All right, here we go. We're up.
All right, show me some quarterbacks there, Tanner.
QBs, you got Tua, Justin Fields, Lawrence, Deshaun, Jameis, and Matt Ryan's there, Baker's there, Tannehill's there.
This is a rough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I would almost go tight end.
But with the weapons here, I feel like Tua is probably your best option just because of the threat he has on the outside.
Yeah. All right, give me some tight ends.
Tight ends.
How much time do I have left?
Yeah, 25 seconds. Yeah, Albert, Hunter Henry, Higbee, Irv Smith, Njoku, Font, Everett, Tunyon.
You know what?
Hooper.
Give me some Alberto.
Alberto.
Because I don't think Denver, it could be overall a bad team, but I think their offense is going to be a little bit better than people expect, especially with Russell Wilson over there now.
Well, he's a red zone threat.
And I'm going to go with Alberto here. Just give me a piece of that Denver Broncos offense.
All right, Alberto is taken. Mike,
switch over to quarterbacks real quick. I feel like we just got to pull the trigger here.
Jameis.
And Winston's on there, but I don't.
I'm a little scared on his injury history.
He's still an injured bum.
Yeah.
We got to go Tua because and assume that he's going to work well with all the talent around him.
Okay. Tua, it is.
I think Tanner would have gone with Trevor Lawrence to pair with James Robinson.
I would have done Justin Fields.
Now thinking about it, if we could just undo that James Robinson, we could have had Rodgers, Cousins, or Stafford.
Told you it was a reach. I told you it was a reach.
Instead of Tua.
I didn't want to go quarterback there. I have no desire for that quarterback spot.
I'm just saying Robinson could have been swapped out with some of those other guys.
Jordan is asking, sorry, I'm asking a billion questions. Should I take a chance on Sky Moore? Yeah, you should take a chance on Sky Moore. And don't be sorry for asking billion questions. That's what we're here for.
Well, here's the thing to think about, guys. So Juju Smith-Schuster's having
hooking up
some knee work done, possibly getting some fluid drained from his knee right now. And MVS is someone who's had some injury history in the past. And Hardman had a groin, like Romeo Crennel said one time, Jaleel Brown has a little groin. Well, Mecole Hardman has a groin right now.
Yeah.
So all the receivers have something going on right now with a slight injury concern other than Sky Moore.
Guys, I gave you my bold prediction. I think it was probably just a couple of weeks ago that Sky Moore could be the WR1 for the Chiefs this year. The worst case scenario, in my opinion, he's going to be the WR2 behind Juju. But he's either going to be the 1 or 2 at the wide receiver position. So yeah, you want to get
finishing right the year.
You want to get some shares of Sky Moore if you're in fantasy.
Gonna destroy you guys in our draft. You're not gonna remember our draft.
So like, what's your problem with James Robinson, Mike? I don't want to forget about this.
It's
problem
not,
that you have.
Well, here's the deal. I don't have like
It's practically the
think-
same thing as Cam Akers.
I don't like the value there.
Well, I know he doesn't like Cam Akers.
I don't have a problem with James Robinson. I just think there was better options on the board. I would have gone probably Ramondre Stevenson over Robinson right there.
Could have.
I probably would have even gone James Cook over Robinson, who's not even off the board yet. Pretty sure he's not even drafted yet.
Oh, I certainly
Oh,
would
there he
have
is.
taken.
He's drafted.
I would have taken James Cook for sure.
I mean, there's just other options there. Plus, we gave up on those quarterbacks like a Stafford or Cousins or Rodgers that we could have had.
Bums.
So, to me, Robinson's just way too much of a risk to be putting on our roster right there. But let's see if Tanner can make up for it with his next pick.
I gotta look here what we got. 1, 2, 3.
He's gonna be laughing all the way to the
4.
bank if
1,
James
2,
Robinson
3,
blows
4,
up this year.
5.
Right, with ETN on the field, James Robinson's going to blow.
Well,
up
I'm just saying, like if he
Robinson's
if he injures
starting.
his,
He's the one.
We'll see.
if
how
he
those
injures his
things play
private
out.
part again, you know.
I don't have a problem with Robinson. I just have a problem with the value there.
Ronald Jones, right? That's what we're looking at.
Well, it's your call, Tanner.
Oh, really?
Ronald Jones about to get cut. Well, maybe not now.
Ooh, he's there. All right, I got to go here. Get our 5th running back, Brian Robinson,
That's a good pick.
coming into play.
So Tanner's helping make up for it a little bit there.
So now we go back to JG.
Jason, your pick.
All right, what round is this?
This
13.
is the 13th.
13.
We got 3. So after this
Did we
one,
finally get a quarterback for once?
we got Tua.
All right, give me the tight ends again.
Hunter Henry, Higbee, Smith, Njoku,
All
Font.
right, I'm going to do the same thing as last time. I believe in the Vikings offense as well this year, so give me some Irv Smith as our second
I like
tight
it.
end.
I'm okay
Want to
with
have
that.
a piece of that Vikings offense. It's due to explode this year.
Yep, I'm okay with that.
I am curious to see how David Njoku does this year. I wouldn't totally give up on his career yet. I think there's potential for him to have a successful season.
He's certainly young enough. I mean,
He
what is
needs
he? Is he
one.
only like 22 years old or something?
No, he's
23
older than that. I
maybe?
think he's 27 now. He's been around for a while.
I think he's younger than you think.
David Njoku,
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's around 26, 27. But
Nope.
I just think he's
He
somebody we shouldn't
is
give up on.
26.
Okay.
26.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I certainly wouldn't give up on him yet.
And Watson will be playing at the end of the year. Maybe that'll help him even. So
I mean, a good playoff push, maybe. We'll have to see.
I mean,
Nobody's thrown
honestly,
to
that's
him.
what you want to when you're doing your fantasy draft. You want to be drafting for later on in the season.
Oh, yeah.
You know, end of the regular season, fantasy playoffs, and that's when you got to look at things like that. Okay, Deshaun Watson's going to be back. That could be, you know, when Njoku blows up.
now I'm assuming in some leagues people will be drafting Watson at some point in their draft, like late. You know, especially like something like this, you might take him in the 15th round just to hold on to him for the entire season. I think it's kind of a wasted roster spot.
I think he's going undrafted.
To do
He
that?
should go undrafted in most
True.
drafts.
I think in our league he will
True,
be drafted
Jason.
though,
You think he will get drafted?
just because we have 21 rounds.
No.
So
Oh, yeah.
I-
He'll get drafted.
someone's going to sit on him for the whole year.
I think someone would sit on him for like 5 weeks and then just get tired of it and want to use that roster spot
Yeah,
for something else.
I would get tired of it. So, well, all these kickers are going off the board. Tanner, does it get you excited?
Crap. We are on it, aren't we? 14th and
Well,
15th.
I'll tell you what. I'm not taking a kicker, so that'll be up to you. Actually, we need a defense.
We
still,
need
don't
defense and a kicker.
I guess we'll take a defense.
It's
Next.
time.
Do they
well,
make
somebody-
you do that? They don't. You don't have to do that. Let's pick
No,
some
but
sleepers.
Let's see
Get
what
some
kind of
sleepers.
grade we got at the end of this.
Okay.
So Tanner, go to the defenses for me. All right.
Cowboys, Pack,
Packers,
Colts, Broncos,
Colts.
Steel, Patriots. The Browns are down there. Eagles are down there.
Yeah, we're not going that far down.
I don't know. I kind of like the Eagles. Who is going to get tired of holding on to Watson when you have 22 players on your team? It's a fair point.
I would get sick of it because I have too many ballers on my roster to have to make room for a guy like that. So, so Tanner, I'm in my head right now. I'm debating between the Packers and the Cowboys for the defense here.
Just remember, between those two teams, one has a possibility of struggling on offense. The other one has more of a solidified offense right now with less question marks.
That's not much of a difference in my opinion. One doesn't turn the ball over like ever. If you guys remember back when the Chiefs beat the Packers last year without Aaron Rodgers, that was a defensive battle. The defense came to play in a situation where the Packers' offense was terrible that day.
That was ugly.
But the Packers, I feel like, are still a pretty solid defense this year.
Yeah, they lost a few key pieces, but nothing. I don't think nothing that would have caused them to not be picked here.
And I
mean, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't trust his receivers, they're going to be doing a lot more in the running game anyway, milking the clock, and that's going to help the defense out as well.
Yeah, and I don't looking at the Patriots defense too, like that whole division now, I wouldn't want to mess with it. Just with the way the Dolphins offense has more weapons, Bills obviously, and then the Jets have good receivers right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the Packers defense here, Tanner.
Packers D.
Let's get that over with.
I'm good with that.
And then we're gonna go kicker, and we're gonna go ahead and go Yun-Ho Koo. That's actually who I wanted.
Nice.
I don't see anybody else I'd take. So
No Dirt McGirt on there.
no Dart McGirt. We're gonna go Yun-Ho Koo, and those guys could be once again another 3-point setup because Mariota ain't gonna score touchdowns. So
Oh, dude, he can score with his legs, dude.
and he can catch.
He's
the
a
ball
running
himself
quarterback.
and run himself. I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that because I'm not a big fan of having Tua as our QB1.
No.
That's going to be a scary situation, in my opinion. I did like our initial running backs, and then the receivers we got are great. The tight end could have been a little better, I guess, but
So we should have gone quarterback a couple rounds earlier.
well, instead of Brian Robinson, we probably should have gone quarterback there.
Oh, James Robinson.
James Robinson, not Brian Robinson.
So I wonder if we could go back and see which quarterbacks were on the board
told
when
you.
we made that pick.
It was Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford.
Rodgers, Stafford, Cousins,
And Cousins.
Fields, Tua.
I'm
I
saying
didn't want
you
any
could
of
have
those
had
Wow.
Stafford or
He started.
Rodgers over James Robinson.
So
Hey,
did you
we had time
wanted
here.
him to go? Did you know that he was going to go running back, or did
I
you-
wasn't going
No.
quarterback. I can tell you that much.
No, but he
Or
also
tight end.
skipped over a bunch of running backs that I would have probably had over
So
Robinson.
when you picked James Robinson, what round was that in?
That
9.
is the 9th,
I would say that
which is about where he's going.
I would say that the 9th round, you really need to start seriously thinking about quarterback.
Mine's
if you don't have
usually
one yet,
about 9 to 10.
a lot of leagues will start to reach a little bit earlier than that, but
Hey, good draft, Ryan.
I think
He says he
round
loves his team.
round 9 is kind of like that last round where if you want to get a good, I'm not saying an
Yeah.
elite, if you want to get
Us-
a good quarterback,
Usually
you
there's
better take
Cousins
him.
there, and like Cousins, Tua, Fields. Those
do
guys
like
are there about
Ryan's
10.
picks of Osborne, Tyler Allegier. He did get Ramondre Stevenson,
Shit, he got Tyler,
Matt.
Mooney, Wilson.
I like his
Cup,
receivers pretty well. That turned out really well with the
Yeah.
receivers there.
Not awful here. Look at this guy. Groovy went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that reminds me of
8 receivers.
myself right there.
8 wide receivers.
8 wide receivers in a row.
Well, what
Who
running
did
back
that?
did he get? Let me-
He didn't pick a running back until
The
White.
last 2 rounds.
Darius Prince.
Okay,
All right, that's a little
so-
overboard, probably.
So I got to throw this out right now. I'm not a big fan of RB0.
well, this is a different type
Dan,
of RB0.
Dan,
Well-
let's not
8 in a
sports.
row.
He went 1, 2, 3,
But
4,
it's a
5
f-
tight.
That is a form of RB0, though. That's RB0 on steroids.
Right. Even I
I'm
would
saying,
never do
I'm
that.
telling you, I'm not a proponent of any method of RB0. That's RB0 on steroids, and that's a disaster. You have no chance to win a championship.
Yeah, that's
Jay-
pretty rough.
Jay Collins here went Cook, Kelsey, Mahomes, ETN, Jacobs, Mitchell, and then he went receivers.
But see, like then his WR2 is Drake London, and
Ooh.
then, like
Ugh, and Tyler Lockett right there too.
Tyler Lockett.
Some of the presets, I don't think they worked right either. Honestly, Ryan says he doesn't think the presets worked out.
No, the presets.
I think
probably
something
did.
happened there.
Yeah, the presets were a little bit. Who was the number 10 team, Tanner? So I see. I love that team.
4, 5,
Big
6,
fan.
7, 8, 9,
Team
10.
number 10. They go
Austin.
Diggs, Chubb, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman. So your receivers are wonderful right there.
And
That's
then
not
you got
bad.
And then you get
Dylan,
Chubb and AJ Dillon as your running backs.
George
Wow.
Pickens.
You got Pickens in there. Brady's his quarterback.
That's a great draft.
I
Gage
like that
Henderson.
team.
Yeah. You would trade our team in for that.
Dougie Fresh over here with Mixon, Adams, Fournette, Kittle, Gibbs.
Now he did take Ertz and Hawkinson, which I probably wouldn't take either of those
Back
guys.
to back
but-
too.
Yeah. Tanner likes Hawkinson, though.
Jordan, let's look at your team here. 54 champs here. Well, we got Keenan, Swift, Herbert, Metcalf, Sanders, Goddard, Renfro, Tucker, Olave, Claypool, Pacheco, Bucks, Fields, Watson, Brait. I wouldn't say that bad.
Number 2 is
You're not
interesting.
last for sure.
They got some. So a couple of running backs. You guys know I like Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins too. So they definitely loaded up at running back early. But their WR3 is Alec Pierce.
They went
you got to
Pierce
hope that he really shows up at that point.
Like if he's really gonna be a weapon, that's gonna have to
I like
be.
Alec Pierce, but I don't know if I'd
I
want
like
my WR3.
Damian Pierce here. I like what we picked Hunt at. He picked Pierce right after that, and I like
I'd
Pierce this
take
year.
I'd
Kareem
take
Hunt
Hunt
over
any day
Pierce.
over
I like
Pierce.
Pierce. I like Pierce this year.
Although I do think the Houston offense is going to be a little bit better
Okay,
than people
Ryan.
think. But
We'll see.
You're not taking him ahead of Kareem Hunt.
So do they give you grades on this platform, Tanner? Or are we
Yeah.
just
I have
grading our own work on this one?
idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember.
I want to see the grade.
Oh, scores, right?
scores?
No.
Show me the grade of the person that took like 9 wide receivers in the first 10
Well,
rounds.
that'd probably be a F.
That is funny, man.
Well, here, let me look up something real quick. I haven't done it on my computer yet.
All right. Well,
While
Tanner,
we discuss here.
Tanner came at us today with a big surprise, didn't he? And we're over here trying to get on Yahoo, and he's just got Sleeper over there waiting for us to
Yeah.
jump right on into.
Yep.
Look, I just thought it'd be a fun surprise for you guys. I didn't want you guys to prep, even though it ended up at Jason's spot anyways.
Well, we don't have to prep. I mean, it's a fantasy mock draft. If you haven't prepped by now, and our draft is this coming weekend, then I got no words for you, man. You're screwed.
The good news is probably half of our league hasn't prepped, so
That's
I'm okay
good
with
for
that.
us.
You know, whatever.
That's good for us.
I root for everyone to get drunk and inebriated and then try to draft a team.
Get as many alcoholics as you can into your fantasy leagues, and then you have a higher percentage chance of winning.
It's
Yeah.
true. I'm looking here.
Maybe
why
not.
my
Maybe
win-loss
not
record's so
alcohol.
good.
Not alcoholics. That's a bad way to put it. But heavy drinkers. We'll put it that way.
Alcoholics.
Although I'm going to be honest, since I turned 21, I haven't had a fully sober draft. So every draft I've ever had, even when I went undefeated, I'm sure I had plenty of drinks that night.
Yep.
So drafting without drinks is going to be pretty weird, won't it?
I'm not doing that. So I'll
Yeah,
be
you-
shocked. I mean, I know you have to do it.
I think you should
because
do a shot at tequila for every round.
Oh Lord.
I'm not doing that.
I gotta drive the guy home. Remember that. Josh, what am I looking up? I'm looking on the Fantasy Pro site to do the.
I encourage if you have any
Great.
kind of edibles to take 2.
I'm not
just
doing
to see
any
what kind of
edibles,
effects
man.
you get. It maybe will enlighten you to make good choices.
Nothing against edibles. I'm not drafting while I do that. Like, I'm just gonna have a couple of drinks, have a good time. But yeah, I gotta be on point for this draft, man. This is
Right.
my money league.
Well, I know I will be. I think Tanner, I don't know what he's planning on yet, but I know I'll be on point for this one for sure.
Oh,
Tanner, I think you ought to try to pass out like you did that one year.
I didn't pass out.
No, you had some problems.
Well, yeah, after the draft.
Well, there was that one year Tanner was thrown up in the bushes. Should we just tell old
No.
draft stories?
That must have been the fireball
was,
year, or somebody brought
what's-
fireball.
That was the year. No, we.
So
drank,
that was the same year that
we drank
that
old
his dog Max bit
Bobby.
our friend Bobby in the butt. The butt.
Yeah,
Just
and
say-
then
say-
that was when Bobby
no
brought
no draft grades
fireball,
on Sleeper.
and people were
No
drinking
prep
fireball
here.
at the draft.
Hear you loud and clear.
Fireball,
Mike.
yeah.
That's no good. I was trying to find the Fantasy Pros deal I looked at today. I just can't find it now. League Analyzer, maybe.
Tanner, I told you to sign up for Fantasy Pros.
I already did.
Did you get the premium?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I just don't know where to go.
all right,
Yeah.
well,
Now that I
All
know
right.
what I know, I take back the Cam Akers pick and I take Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
Knowing what I know now, that he was going to
Yeah.
take James Robinson instead of a quarterback, I would have taken Lamar instead
Well,
of Cam
yeah,
Akers.
woulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, that's probably would have been a good idea. Because then if you had done that, I would have been more inclined to go towards a different running back, which would have made him not even think about
Right.
what he did.
Yeah.
All right, so
What he did.
I got
he
I got
pissed
to
off
pull it up
our
here.
entire draft.
He ruined the whole thing.
He pissed it away.
Yeah,
Like
ruined
we
the whole
piss away,
thing.
like
Alright.
the same way we piss away money at the roulette table. That's
Fantasy
how he
Pros,
pissed away the draft.
Here's our power rankings. We are 4th in the league.
Okay, here we go. So
On
this is
that.
our power rankings after that mock we just did.
Right up here. So we're sitting at
Hey, we got
4th
fourth, man. That's
Yeah.
good.
in the power
4th.
rankings. Our running backs, flex, 2nd and 3rd. 5th in receiver, tight ends at 9th, quarterbacks at 12th.
So QB is going to be a situation on this roster that like you got to be on the waiver wire, or if Winston starts to blow up, you got to jump on that quick.
We would have been top 2 easily had we done what we just talked about.
Yeah,
Not take a
Well,
quarterback.
that would have taken
too
the
late.
running back rankings down to probably 5, at least.
Mm.
but the QB ranking would have been more like what 5th or 4th at that point.
Yeah.
So it would have balanced out, I think.
I still think we got good value there.
Hey, that's why you do mock drafts, guys. You got to get better and better each time. Learn from your mistakes.
So triple FTP, fantasy football for the people. Go check it out. The
So this
website.
is
Links in the description. He had wide receivers number 1st overall there.
this
And
is sad, Tanner. How does the team that went RB0 not have the number 1 receiver group? If you go RB0, how do you not have the number 1 receiver group?
highly McCaffinated is
Let's-
2nd.
That must be that's a bot. That's not a real person that
It's a
drafted
bot.
that team, dude.
No, it's an
Too many bots in this league.
it's a UK person. Hang on.
Exactly.
He's
It's in the
sleeping.
UK. It's probably a bot.
Was it number 9, Tanner, that did the RB0?
A couple of the Let's Talk Sports guys that are on there.
Okay.
That's
well,
why. Hang on, I'm looking it up.
I think it was number 9, maybe, that did the RB0 deal. I'm just curious what his ranking was on everything else, or maybe it was no. Go down to number 12,
You know,
where it says "Gimme and Kill Harry." That's his name for his team.
But quite honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to do edibles and drink during the draft, because I would pull off some stuff like that where I would try to take 7 wide receivers in the first 8 rounds. That's what happens when you take edibles.
why won't
Hey, I encourage it for Sunday night,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, man.
this is weird. It won't let me click on teams to see.
I want to see. Show me his wide receivers again. That was pretty
I know what I'll
interesting.
do. Yeah.
Did
I
he
know,
actually? He didn't
draft results.
draft and kill Harry, did he?
I don't know. I just saw 8 receivers on there, so
Hmm.
it was.
Some of those receivers, Tanner.
Groovy.
Right, it was number 9. So let's take a look at that.
Groovy is what's his team name?
I don't know what his team name is.
Yeah,
I'm assuming, Tanner, it would be really easy to look at the rankings. Just if you just go down to 12, I'm sure that's what he got rated.
Groovy's at 6. Or give me Neil. So yeah,
That's
12.
exactly what I've been saying.
Give me Neil. What's last?
All right, so his flex was number 1. Okay, the number 1 flex, but not receivers though.
Right.
But if you look at the rest of that, look at that. The bench is number 1 in the whole league. That's
Well,
amazing.
let's
bench.
list off. Let's name off the wide receivers that he took.
Yeah, we can.
I want to see how good or how bad it was.
All right, so Groovy here had. Make sure I'm on. Yeah, I'm on. He had Chase, Samuel, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Moore, Hopkins were his receivers. Elijah Moore. And then he had Cousins, Pickett, Winston at quarterback, Everett and Tunyon tight end, and then White and Davis Prince.
Well, look, he took Roddy White at the running back.
Jeez.
No, that's Rashad White from the Buccaneers, their
Yeah.
second string running back.
I'm not even
that's rough.
sure. I'm not even sure if you used some of those receivers as trade bait throughout the season. If you could actually,
He's
is
gonna have
that
to do something.
is that team? Could you repair a team like that, or were you just automatically
You can.
not going to make the
It's just going
playoffs?
to take a lot of work.
You're going to be in. Here's the thing: you're going to start off so bad, it's not going to be repairable. 'Cause you're going to start off 0-4 and go, "I'm going to repair this thing." By the time you get it figured out, it's going to be the end of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's game over right out the gates.
So number one here is Jay Collins. He had tight end at first, kicker second, running back third, quarterback third. He has best starters in the league. Overall, pretty balanced team, I'd say, outside the wide receivers. So if we look at his team, though, let's see who we got. He had Dalvin first, Kelsey Mahomes, Travis Etienne, Jacobs Mitchell, Cooper, London, Lockett, a.k.a. is the receivers at 11. Penny, Tony, Saints, T-Bass, Henry, and Hines.
So for me, I would replace ETN right there in the 4th round with a receiver, and
Jacobs,
because I don't think you're going to lose. Well, I might even keep Jacobs in there, but I do like Elijah Mitchell quite a bit. But I would just take out ETN right there. There's still a lot of unknown with him, and to see how he's going to pan out in the NFL. Grab your WR1 right there, and then it's not looking so bad.
Yeah, then he's really balanced. So, any other team you want to look at? Should we look at Hayfley's?
Well, there's a balanced team for you, Tanner.
Defense, special team, best one there. Running back, fourth in starters, 7th in bench. So Hayfley had Henry, Jones, Elliott. Okay, not bad. Johnson, Burrow, Robinson, Michael Thomas, Tony Pollard, Aaron Rodgers, Gesicki, Bills, Landry, Carlson, Font, and Gallup at the end. Nice little sneaker pick.
Not a fan of that one.
So we got Thomas.
You don't like Gallup coming back?
No, I mean that draft in particular.
He got Michael
not
Thomas
a fan.
and Jarvis Landry, so you have to hit on one of those, don't you?
I don't like
You would think.
the receiver
have
group
to hit on
there
one of
Unless
those.
Olave just
Like,
blows them away.
at all. That receiver group is terrible.
It's not the best, but it's not awful.
You got crappy hands Deontay Johnson on there. Michael Thomas, who
Crappy hands.
who
Is he worse than MVS, or are they both about the
Well, he's
same
by
in
far worse
terms
than
of the
MVS.
drops?
by far worse than
Ryan,
MVS.
so Ryan says ADP has the top 12 QBs taken before round 8 on average this year. So it's late round QB guys had to take them a bit earlier than usual.
Mhm.
And then AO Saba says can destroy you guys while edibles.
I'm sure he will.
I think
Sounds
Ayo
right.
Saba should take Skylar Thompson with his number 1 pick. So
Yeah.
that'll make him feel good.
Cool. Well,
All
that's
right.
our first community draft, guys, that we've ever done. So we'll work together. Maybe we can put a little quick 10-minute segment in our shows now and set the lineup each week
So
together.
this is a real draft, apparently.
This is a
It
real,
was
yeah.
real.
This is a real draft.
Okay.
This is our sports buffoons.
Wow, dude. So we have a
We got a lot of work to do.
conjoined roster.
So
Well, we're using Tanner's money then because he drafted James Robinson.
Who's going to be the coach? Who's going to be the GM of this whole thing? Like
we're
that's what I want.
we're all going to be together. This is a group effort.
We need an offensive coordinator.
This is going to be awful, but this is
I'm
a
gonna
group
be. I want to
effort.
be like the GM. I want to be a player and the GM on the team.
You want to
All
play
right,
too?
Well, if this is the case, then I'll take let's take some offers for Mr. Robinson.
Wait, is this a money league, Tanner?
Look, I'm feeling no. There is a prize. There's a sports buffoon prize at the end that we will whoever wins it. So, if it's us, then you guys get nothing.
We
but
will
I'll
have
get
great
it.
receivers though all year long, so that's not a worry.
We'll be
at all.
okay.
And maybe
you
Tua.
guys are
Maybe
overhyping
Tua
it.
is not going to be that bad. You just never know.
Look, we're fielding offers for Akers.
He is
and
more
Robinson,
accurate than
okay?
Patrick Mahomes. That's what I heard.
Cam Akers is on the table, Tanner.
Cam Akers and Robinson on the field on the
Alright.
table.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, the rest of the team's fine.
So we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about it, but we'll check back in next Wednesday. On actually no, we had a week from next Wednesday before we have to set our lineups, right?
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
September 7th and 8th would be. The 8th is week 1, Tanner.
Ryan Larison says just don't tear each other apart. Well, you know what, Ryan? It's gonna be good content either way. So
You're telling me for 10 minutes every week on a Wednesday night, we got to sit here.
we
and
got to
decide
set this
what
lineup
the hell we're gonna do with this damn lineup.
together.
That's a good idea, actually. I like it.
All right, we got to massage the roster, as great general managers say. Massage the roster.
All right, real quick, Mike. I do got a guy here, Chiefs fan Jordan. He wants, on a serious note, how are the Chiefs doing this year? 13 to 14 wins, or would you say less? He just wants to know.
Well, I'm gonna say
it's
less
a
than
head sneak
14.
peek, but
We haven't done our official
done our
record
AFC West
predictions yet. I will just say I have the Chiefs less than 14 wins, but I still feel as good as any other year regarding their potential in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I could see 12 or 13 wins for the Chiefs, but I also think that as tough as the AFC is going to be, I don't think it's out of the question to get the number 1 seed with 13 wins.
I think the defense is going to be surprisingly better because a lot of it is addition by subtraction. When you let go of Daniel Sorensen and Ben Neiman and our middle linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, and replace them with quality players who are not slow as molasses, then you have the opportunity to have a really good defense. So, yeah, I'm saying defense this year, expect that to be in the top 12 in the entire NFL. It's all about keeping Mahomes upright and efficient all year long, though.
And I will also want MVS to start using spider tack on his hands so he can catch the damn ball.
Hey, he had a rough day at training camp.
Wait,
day I
is
was
that
there,
legal
but
in the NFL? I thought they only banned that in MLB.
I think
No.
it might be illegal.
He needs
But
spider tack
needs
on his
something.
hands.
I think so far in preseason he's looked fine with the hands, but there was one day in practice he kept dropping everything. I think he'll be okay down the road.
So cool. Well, you guys have anything else here for the show today?
Well, now that I know that's a real draft we just did, we're gonna have to have a long conversation about things.
Please, I can't say it enough times. Never use the RB0 strategy. You will lose. Okay, I'm keeping it simple for you guys. You will lose your league.
You look into the RB0. It's not really a full RB0 than you thought like that. What you thought?
Well, no,
so.
you never go 8 in a row receiver. I mean,
Yeah.
even I don't do that stuff. The most I've ever
RB0
done was like 4 or 5 in a row, ever.
I know, but like the most basic explanation is you can only take 1 running back in the first 5 rounds. That's all it means. And if you use that strategy, you might get lucky and get the 6th seed in your playoffs, but you're not going anywhere.
Now, I will do that in our league, by the way. I'll be taking 1 running back in the first 5 rounds.
You're a liar. That's not going to happen.
Actually, that could happen to me.
I'm absolutely doing that.
I got the first. I already got my keepers in 2nd and 3rd. So then my 4th and 5th could be anything. So I might have 1 running back in the first 5 rounds. It could happen.
So you guys are both doing RB0.
Possibly.
Well, you always know I do a modified RB0 every year.
If the
It's
chips
just-
lie where it lies.
I value receivers more than I do running backs. That's all.
So cool. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, let's have some non-alcoholic Busch Lights.
All right, guys. So check us out. Tomorrow will be a quick pregame show and postgame show for the Chiefs game. It is Chiefs Thursday. And then this weekend, I don't know what day yet we're going to be doing it, but Dan and I will be doing a pregame show for either Saturday or Sunday. So I think there's only 1 game Sunday, 2 game Sunday.
There's a couple.
Couple.
There's 2.
So we'll at least begin something there before we begin week 1. So check that out, guys. And then, yeah, I'll be drafting tomorrow night. Friday nights, my first big draft as well for the weekend. 6:00 p.m. I'll be live.
And are we going to be recording our live draft at of our league?
Oh, I was going to go live there.
Yeah, so we're going to be live during our
like
draft.
You guys don't have to like sit there
So-
and be like what I'm going to do, but I'm going to sit there because I'm going to use my screens anyways.
So Ao Saba, the smack talker of the evening, he's also going to be there. So why not just have us all kind of part of the group and people can watch us draft live?
I mean, I'm going to be using my setup here already.
Okay.
So I'm going to go live anyways.
Yeah, we'll just pass around the mic and.
I got
we'll
a
be
mic.
good.
I got a handheld mic now, so
Yeah.
we're good. So, but
Let's
yeah,
do
check
it
us out
live.
Sunday.
We'll do it live.
I'm not going to go live tonight, guys. This is my draft night tonight. I'm going to go ahead and pass up tonight, and I'll be back tomorrow night at 10:30 after the Chiefs game. So, other than that, guys, let me get my mouse where it should be. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everybody for watching here and participating. And we'll catch you next time.
See you on the next one.
Out.
See you guys.